Scene opens with a dramatic, slow-motion shot of a tiny, bizarre-looking car with its gullwing doors open, silhouetted against a setting sun. Welcome to Nobody Drives. Like, subscribe, and comment for more. Let's start. Epic, synth-heavy 80s style music begins to play. Then abruptly cuts to a record scratch. Did you know Japan once built a supercar with a 660cc engine? No, that wasn't a typo. We're talking about a machine with the engine displacement of a respectable lawnmower. Yet, it possesses more drama and soul than most modern performance cars combined. Prepare to have your perception of what a supercar can be completely shattered. This is the story of a glorious, ridiculous, and utterly brilliant mistake. A pocket-sized legend born from a fever dream. This is the Mazda AZ-1. The year is 1992. Japan's bubble economy is still fizzing, albeit with the distinct sound of a slow leak. In this era of boundless optimism and questionable financial decisions, Mazda, a company known for sensible sedans and the delightful Miata, decided to ask a very important question. What have we made? A Lamborghini, but for people who have to park on the sidewalk? The answer was the Autozam AZ-1, a mid-engine, gullwing-doored sports car built to the strict regulations of the K-Class. For the uninitiated, K-cars are Japan's solution to urban congestion and high-taxes tiny vehicles with engines. Capped at a microscopic 660cc, it's a category filled with sensible, boxy vans and economical city runabouts. Shoving a supercar into this class is like entering a chihuahua into a heavyweight boxing match. It makes absolutely no sense, and that's precisely why it's so magnificent. This wasn't just another car, it was a defiant statement. A rolling paradox built for a world that wasn't quite ready for it. Looking at the AZ-1 is an exercise in delightful confusion. Was it designed by automotive engineers or a team of rogue anime artists who just finished a 72-hour marathon of Gundam ***? The proportions are utterly absurd, it's comically short, impossibly low, and features a set of gullwing doors so large they make up half the car. These weren't just for show, they were a hilariously impractical necessity. With a normal door, you'd never be able to contort your body into the cramped cockpit. Instead, the AZ-1 offers you the daily spectacle of looking like a butterfly emerging from a tiny fiberglass chrysalis every time you get out. The body panels, made of lightweight fiberglass and plastic, were draped over a steel monocoque chassis, a technique usually reserved for high-end exotics. Not something that shares a tax bracket with a glorified golf cart. It had pop-up headlights because of course it did, scoops and vents that seemed to lead nowhere in particular, and the overall presence of a baby Countach that had been left in the dryer for too long. It was pure, unadulterated theater on for tiny wheels. A design born from a level of creative madness that can only be achieved through a potent combination of sleep deprivation and an almost reckless passion for the automobile. If you were to pop the hood to find the engine, you'd be met with, well, not much, a spare tire, maybe some washer fluid. That's because the heart of this miniature monster wasn't up front. Following proper supercar doctrine, the engine was mounted right behind the two seats, a true mid-engine layout. And what an engine it was, sourced from Suzuki, another master of the small car universe. It was a 657cc, 3-cylinder, turbocharged and intercooled powerhouse. On paper, its 63 horsepower sounds laughable. But this isn't about paper. This is about feeling. In a car that weighed a mere 720 kilograms less than a modern Formula One car, those 63 horses felt like a stampede. The turbocharger spooled up with an angry little whistle, followed by a surge of acceleration that felt 10 times faster than it actually was. The engine screamed its little heart out all the way to a 9,000 RPM redline, sounding less like a car and more like an enraged hornet trapped in a tin can. It was small, it was loud, it was perpetually furious. And it gave the AZ-1 a character that cars with 3 times the displacement and 10 times the price could only dream of. So Japan had its miniature supercar, A masterpiece of packaging, a triumph of engineering lunacy. The public should have been lining up around the block, yen in hand, right? Wrong. The AZ-1 was. To put it mildly, a commercial catastrophe. It launched in 1992. At the exact moment Japan's economic bubble didn't just burst, it violently exploded. Suddenly, extravagant toys were out and sensible savings were. The AZ-1 was anything but sensible. It was significantly more expensive than its K-Class sports car rivals, the Honda Beat and Suzuki Cappuccino. It was also spectacularly impractical. The cockpit was so cramped that anyone over 6 feet tall had to drive with their head permanently tilted. Luggage space was non-existent. The gullwing doors, while cool, required a huge amount of space to open, making parking in a tight Tokyo spot an act of pure fantasy. It was a car built for a party that had already ended. In just over a year, production ceased. Only around 4,000 per 100 units ever saw the light of day, disappearing from showrooms as quickly as they had arrived. The dream, it seemed, was over. But here's the funny thing about legends. They're often born from failure. Decades after it was dismissed as a costly flop, the Mazda AZ-1 has found its redemption. It has become a cult icon, a holy grail for JDM enthusiasts and collectors of automotive oddities. Its rarity, its radical design, and its sheer, unapologetic weirdness have made it more desirable than ever. To see one on the road today is an event. It's a rolling piece of automotive history, a reminder of a time when a major car company was brave enough, or perhaps foolish enough, to build something not because it made financial sense, but simply because it would be incredibly cool. The AZ-1 is living, breathing proof that the soul of a car isn't measured in horsepower or sales figures. It's measured in the width of the smile it puts on your face. It's the ultimate underdog, the tiny supercar that could, and a testament to the idea that sometimes the craziest ideas are the ones that are worth remembering the most. Thanks for watching Nobody Drives. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.